Welcome back. The Department of Environmental Health is urging members of the public to take action in and around their homes to boost national efforts to mitigate the dengue outbreak. According to the Deputy Chief Environmental Health Officer, Cheryl Eugene St. Romain, the department is currently taking action on a national scale with widespread fogging and debushing. However, she stresses that the onus is on homeowners to ensure that they are not fostering possible breeding sites. Jacques Wooding has more.
As St. Lucia continues to mitigate the ongoing dengue outbreak, local authorities have been taking action around the island to address the population of adult Aedes aegypti mosquitoes, which serve as the vector for the disease. As detailed by Deputy Chief Environmental Officer Cheryl Eugene St. Romain, the Department of Environmental Health is currently undertaking an island-wide fogging and debushing project. In addition to this, officers are on the ground in various communities, conducting public space inspections and breeding ground reductions.
In any outbreak, especially with mosquito, first thing you would do is try to do a quick knockdown of the adult mosquito, which is what is responsible. Well, the female adult mosquito is responsible for the transmission of the virus. Okay, so presently we have engaged, or we are engaging in fogging that is specific to the adult mosquito. In addition to that, we are continuing our inspections where we do larvicidal work and a level of source reduction. And by source reduction, I mean getting rid of anything, any container, any appliance, anything that can store water.
Eugene St. Romain stresses that mosquitoes are formidable reproducers and is urging members of the public to be conscious of possible breeding grounds in and around their homes. She says anywhere that at least a teaspoon of water is able to settle for more than 3 days can serve as a breeding ground for the vector.
So anywhere there's clean standing water, and in extreme cases when they do not find a clean standing, they do lay their eggs in the foggy, dirty water as well. But anywhere that there is pooling of water or where water is not free flowing and not necessarily in drains and so on, in and around our homes, our guttering, our dish drainers, our toothbrush holders, anywhere that water can stand for a period of time, about 3 days and over, the mosquito is likely to lay its eggs there.
Members of the public are further urged to report any possible breeding grounds in their community to the Department of Environmental Health immediately. Requests for site inspection can be made over the phone or at the front desk of any office of the Department of Environmental Health. Jacques Wooding, Hot 7 News.
The first Vice President of the St. Lucia National Youth Council, Anya Edwin, believes that the time has come for women to assume more roles in leadership. Edwin says women still remain one of the most marginalized groups in elective politics. She believes it is time to move past the patriarchy and ensure that leaders are judged on their capabilities and not their gender.
Although amounting for half of the world's population, women continue to be underrepresented as voters, party leaders, and elected officials. Just over 20% of parliamentarians worldwide are women. Yet evidence is strong that when more women are elected, countries experience higher standards of living as the priorities of families, women, and minorities are addressed and confidence in democracy goes up. Citing these key factors, First Vice President of the St. Lucia National Youth Council, Anya Edwin, says it is time for women in St. Lucia to become more prominent in elective politics. She says that women in St. Lucia continue to show key leadership skills and qualifications often superior to that of their male counterparts, but all too often are left out of leadership roles.
Getting youth and women involved in politics. We recently would have culminated in the region Women in Politics Leadership Institute program, and St. Lucia was represented by eight young women, of course, who are very vibrant, very interested in leadership within the region. And so we want to encourage more of that to happen. So that campaign would allow for us to encourage women participation in politics. It should not be a case where we have a cabinet whose majority is men, of course, and they're the ones making the decision for women and what women should do with their body. That is not fair to us as a woman.
Edwin went on to mount concern with the seemingly lax approach of political leaders towards pressing issues such as crime. She said it is the duty of a people to demand better from a government which it has elected.
When we sit back and we don't demand better from our leaders, then we just wake up and we hear of more Cherise Benoits, we hear more Sadia Byrons, we hear more Shakadan Daniels, we hear more Arnold Josephs, and it seems as though it's just one horrific death story after another that seems to just go unnoticed and unaddressed.
In the last few months, both sides of the political divide have moved to add a new female senator to represent them in the upper house. Farah Polius, the newest government senator, and Lisa Jawahir, the newest opposition senator, will sit their first debate in the House of Assembly on Thursday, October 1st, 2020. Jacques Wooding, Hot 7 News.
Moi Heritage Creole was launched on Sunday with a grand video production streamed online and on local stations. This year, Events St. Lucia says it will roll out an events program that is both content-rich and exceedingly creative.
Events St. Lucia is the lead agency working with the Folk Research Center and the Cultural Development Foundation to host Moi Heritage Creole Heritage Month. Chief Executive Officer of Events St. Lucia, Laureen Sidoni, says 5 virtual programs as part of a mini-series will be aired via traditional media and online platforms as part of this year's celebration.
As unfortunate as the pandemic is, it's given us a beautiful opportunity,
yes.
and we've taken that opportunity. We're doing Creole Heritage Month with a very strong virtual slant.
Virtual.
Oui. So what's happening is that we're capturing all of our historical content in terms of a production, and we're airing it as 5 mini-series, so that everybody can see St. Lucian.
Sec programme. Nous avons fait 5 programmes.
Oui.
On est tous différents bagailles en créole en cette
ici. And nous danser, that's our traditional dances.
Danser,
yeah. Oui. Storytelling, Idi Quick.
Idi Quick, ça est compte, nous avons tué compte, oui.
Yes, a traditional game,
jouer traditionnel.
Yes, so we also have a series focusing on our traditional games. Tiki-Talk.
Okay.
Oui. There's also one, the Couvé Saint-Lucie, the Couvé Cow, where we're picking up different aspects, different sites, different places in St. Lucia. Some you may not have even known, some you may have forgotten.
Minister for Culture, Fortuna Belrose, was engaged in a game of Tiki-Talk before she joined host Kennedy Booth Samuel to discuss this year's observance.
Moi, ça dit, c'est mon là, si vous prenez fondation, ou pas.
Oui.
So, on dit pour toujours respecter ça qui était là avant, pour savoir côté où aller.
2018 National Carnival Queen and reigning Miss OECS Erlika Frederick will present one of the programs called Belte Saint-Lucie. She gave insight into that program.
Responsabilité moi c'est pour parler, causer et puis 4 couturières pour moi héritage créole.
Couturières?
Oui, couturières.
Ils sont ça
anglais ou pas des fashion designers, seamstresses, right?
Couturières.
Oui.
OK. Couturières, j'apprends un autre mot. Si on pas de ça, couturières là, oui.
Oui. So là t'es toi qui t'es plus grand et puis une jeune madame et ça moi t'es ça fait c'est moi t'es qu'à chercher pour belter cette lycée. Tout bagay belle. So, ka parler hard, belle, zano, belle bijou. Ça you ka di accessories en anglais.
George Fish Alphonse will present the program Idi Kui.
Ou ja sa bay ko ti bay Covid ça, tant Covid fait tout bay, bon bagay oui. Covid fait bay ko l'histoire vie. So, oui, ou pas ça question kayo les choses on pour sortir dehors. Apon de yon de l'histoire, tant yon te nous n'y a pas qu'à venir, Idi Quick.
Oui, c'est un programme là.
Oui, l'histoire, copé la paix, c'est pas ça, pas c'est pas ça, copé.
Kidel Soni will present Feste Joué.
So nous avons fait fait stage nous ka moucher c'est jeunesse là pas c'est jeunesse là parce que tout le monde ka apprendre même ka apprendre tout ka moucher c'est jeunesse là about c'est yo te ka hé longtemps bay ou te ka hé TikTok ta là so ou ça bay ko TikTok bay ko topi bay ko c'est ring games là et comme ko c'est ring games là sorti ça c'est bay ça minati pied pour y c'est ka te bay ça tout ça le ka fait.
The launch of Ma Heritage Creole featured live traditional music and dancing to usher in the month of celebration focused on the richness of Creole culture.
The beekeeping community in St. Lucia is buzzing with excitement over the completion of a workshop that will see local apiculture blossom. The workshop has opened the group of trainees to the many wonders of beekeeping, which takes them beyond crop pollination and honey cultivation and into the world of science and big bucks. Rochelle Gonzalez has more.
The world of local apiculture is about to become the next big thing, and if you're wondering what all the buzz is about, pun intended, this is because science has been thrown into the mix that could lead to a lucrative business of honey cultivation, crop pollination, and medicine. On Sunday, a group of beekeepers completed a training workshop which spanned over the course of 6 Sundays, where they learned the intricate methods of apiculture, including caring for queens, maintaining healthy hives, and cultivating not only honey, but also bee venom known as propolis. The long-term goal of the initiative is to create a center of excellence for apiculture in St. Lucia, which is a first of its kind in the Caribbean. The center will be for the benefit of all beekeepers in the region and will feature the participation of 6 islands, namely St. Kitts and Nevis, Dominica, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, and Trinidad and Tobago, as well as the southwestern Pacific island of Samoa. The national coordinator of the Global Environmental Facilities, as well as the United Nations Development Program in St. Lucia, Giles Romulus, said he was delighted to be a part of the program.
One of our program goals in St. Lucia is to promote apiculture throughout, at all points in the value chain. Many people believe, bees are only for honey, but bees are much more valuable than just honey. They are some of the best pollinators in nature. They can give us propolis, which is known to be an antiviral substance, very natural. And more recently, we have started to look at apitoxin, which we want to develop in St. Lucia. So this is an introductory course to persons, young people, young men and women. I was very delighted to see 2 ladies here today, and we really want to promote the ladies in St. Lucia. Join the apiculture movement in St. Lucia. We have funded this project with IAC, and this is like a prelude to a bigger project we are going to introduce in St. Lucia in November, at which point we would want St. Lucia to elevate apiculture to an industry.
Representative for the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation and Agriculture in the Eastern Caribbean states, Greg Rollins, said ICA has been a long-time partner of the regional beekeeping community and wants to see the sector reach higher heights.
We have also been working generally with beekeepers across St. Lucia because we recognize the tremendous potential of apiculture here in St. Lucia as a business opportunity in terms of creating viable businesses for young people and others in rural communities. There's a tremendous market for apiculture products here and also exports as well. So we believe that is an area that it needs to be fully exploited. And as an institution in agriculture, we see it as a win-win situation. We see it as both an opportunity to create viable businesses, but also at the same time to have bees, pollinators that will help to increase crop production. So it's both general agriculture production that is benefiting from having pollinators like bees, but also using bees for commercial activity, having the benefit of products that come from apiculture, whether it's honey, propolis, apitoxins, or whatever.
Richard Matthias, who is the president of the Ionola Apiculture Collective, explained that the course helped the participants to decide whether this is their desired career choice or not.
We found that a lot of people go into bees and they know nothing about it. And then when they actually get the experience all by themselves, they're lost, they don't know what to do, they lose their bees, they either swarms in them, they kill the queen, or 101 different things go wrong. So this program was designed to give them the information they need to navigate the apiculture world safely and to come up with some good results. So special thanks to the Association of Caribbean Beekeepers. The president of the association, Mr. Obi Roberts, he signed off on our certificates. He's endorsed this project, our Introduction to Apiculture project, and it's something that he wishes that we can other beekeeping organizations through the Caribbean can replicate and use our course material to help train their beekeepers also.
Meanwhile, these were the sentiments shared by a couple of the participants.
Initially, all I wanted the bees for was for hobby, as a hobby farmer. However, when you learn from Richard and find out about the value of bee venom and of propolis, you realize that having bees is not just about honey, but it can be used for a wide range of benefits. Like propolis can be used by hospitals to aid with infections, patch wounds and so forth, and the bee venom is as valuable as $80 per gram.
I started beekeeping on my own without much guidance, the assistance of a local beekeeper, but then that beekeeper is in Beaufort, and so I needed to be able to get some additional training for myself to move in the direction that I needed to. And so when this course came along, I gladly took the opportunity to be part of it. It has been very informative in that the number of things that you may take for granted that was brought to our attention, and the importance of those things.
Reporting for Hot 7 News, I am Rochelle Gonzalez.
Stay with us. Sports and weather are coming up after the break.